I'm live now, yeah. Good. Can we get that full screen? Hi, everybody. We're live, but I wanted it full screen. That's what I was looking for. Oh, there was my producer. No, she's very fussy about not being on screen. Would you like to present yourself on screen again,
No.
Madam Producer?
No.
Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being a little casual with you. Livingston Taylor here. Livingston Taylor. This is the Livingston Taylor Show. But of course, we've got a minute or so before it actually officially begins. Guitar. Darn, I'm glad to be back with you. What a week, huh? Plenty of stuff going on since I last saw you. This is just me noodling around. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Well, I think we're up. I think we can start. Ready? It's the November 10th version of the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. You never know where it's gonna go. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. Is he gliding down the street? Is he set to bust a move? When the speaker's out on Broadway, bust a monumental groove. The crowd is getting surly, certainly it behooves Livy to keep it straight and smooth. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. You never know where it's gonna go. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. Ah, great, great. All right, Livingston Taylor Show and our sponsors today, our beautiful sponsors today. First, feedingamerica.org, feedingamerica.org. Now let me speak a little quickly about that. Feedingamerica.org is a national organization, but if you go to feedingamerica.org, it will take you to, you put in your zip code or your address or where you are, and it takes you to local organizations that are doing good work, feeding people, taking care of people. These are tough times out there, and certainly there are a lot of people who are hurting badly and sure need your energy. There also, Massis Bakery, Lebanese food. Massis Bakery is in Watertown, Massachusetts, and incidentally this week, where normally I'm on Martha's Vineyard being sponsored by WMVY, this week I'm coming to you from Watertown, Massachusetts, where where my producer and I are proud residents of Watertown. And I lived here when I was a young kid, and I made it back. And it's a wonderful community. It has a large Armenian population. It's a lot of diversity. Next town out from Cambridge, and so you're close enough to Cambridge to hear them, to hear the anguish, but you're far enough away to not pay the prices. Yes. Anyhow. Manassas Bakery on Mount Auburn Street. We're also sponsored today by Krylon spray paint. Krylon spray paint. I've got a couple of cans of Krylon here. This, of course, is the flat black. And what I do with my guitar case is, I've spoken about this before with you, is anything that's shiny, I paint flat black. And the reason why I do that is so it'll disappear. Well, I know lots of people who put lots of stickers on their guitars and things, and that speaks about who they are and what they are, and what their passions are. But for me to have my guitar disappear, that means it's going to be less seen and less irritating to airline personnel when I'm trying to travel to see you, or if I've left it in the back of a car and somebody is desperate and in a state of panic and needs to steal something to do whatever they need to do. If they don't see my guitar, they can't steal it. So do not underestimate the advantage of anonymity, of the capacity to go invisible. And to be seen, you must reflect light. That's why I like the flat black so much. And I've got Krylon. The other thing I love about Krylon is that it used to irritate me to see graffiti, and it still does, of course, in certain places. But sometimes when I'm driving along and they've painted it all gray and gotten rid of the graffiti, I have to confess that I love watching the graffiti come back. I love the notion of there's some kid out there and he got the Krylon paint, and he or she is so desperate to be seen and to make a mark and to make an input, that they spray their name or their vision or who they are or their symbol or their tribe. As I've gotten older, I've become more tolerant of that. Of course, when they spray paint my car, I'm not very happy, but that notwithstanding. Now, we'll have another sponsor, John Landau Management. We'll get to that in a minute. I was glancing over at my audience today. Along with my producer is my manager, Ralph Jackadine. Oh, that's a great manager and a great friend, and just an absolute blessing in my career. Thank you, Ralph. Anyhow, let me get my songs. I took off my finger picks, but I shouldn't have, because the song I wanted to do first is off my first record, my very first record. I was looking at that, and here is a copy of my very first album. There it is. I had hair. You think I missed that hair? I can tell you, Jesus doesn't like saving souls a bit more than I liked my hair. And but it's oh well, I had plenty of it when I made this record. Of course, I was 19 years old. That record came out in 1970. Can you believe it? Wow, 1970. Matthew was a country boy until one day he found that cheating folks was easier than plowing daddy's grounds. He left his farm in Ohio down for Chicago town. He crossed Big Jim and he turned his back, and the bullet laid him down. And as he lay there dying, he said, well, I see my Ohio. In my reply, I lied a bit and said I did not know. Jim McCall was meek and small, and to become a man, he'd have to build himself up tall with fancy folks and lands. He threw stones head on his friends, and he got himself these things. His children left him, and he sneered, that's what my kindness brings. And in the South End he got lost and asked me where to go. In my reply, I lied a bit and said I did not know. Lazy Susan, uh-oh, the lyric just disappeared out of my brain. And lazy Susan called me up. She'd heard I'd stole the show. In my reply, I lied a bit and said I did not know. In my reply, I lied a bit and said I did not know. Oh, what a pleasure to play that song. Linda Ronstadt, I heard a recording. She recorded that song. But the first person to record that song was my last sponsor, which is John Landau, John Landau Management. And John Landau was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I would like to tell you that he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for having produced not one, but 2 records for Livingston Taylor. One, my first record here, and the second also just filled with some guy who has tons of hair. These records were both produced by John Landau. And John was really responsible for taking me. He listened to my music, I think, when I was 17, and he was living over in Brighton, Massachusetts. And he was just a wired-up kid, as was I. And I played him some songs, and he said, "Oh gosh, I want to produce you. I want to." And so he was going down. He was just starting to write for a little publication called Rolling Stone magazine in those days, late 60s. And he was doing an article on Otis Redding, and he went down to Macon, Georgia, and he brought me along. And Phil Walden signed me to a record contract. And that was 50 plus years ago, and it's been quite a trail, thanks to John Landau and Phil in those early days. It was so nice. Bruce Springsteen was on Broadway, and my producer, who's familiar with these people, she got tickets, and they know her and they really like her, and so they invited her backstage. And John had already left Bruce's concert, and his show on Broadway. He was there virtually every night. But he was driving home, and somebody called him up, and they said, Livingston Taylor is backstage and was wondering if you were around. And he turned around, and he came back in. And so I'm standing there with Bruce and John McEnroe and some other people, and all of a sudden Landau comes walking in, and he runs up to me, and he gives me this big hug, and the look on Bruce's face was amusing. But this is John Landau. And he's just a wonderful man. And that's right, I should have mentioned that he was responsible for that Bruce Springsteen quote, or the quote about Bruce Springsteen. I have seen the future of rock and roll, and it is Bruce Springsteen. And he's produced, and he doesn't produce his records anymore, but he does manage Bruce Springsteen for all these years. And it has been arguably one of the best careers ever in show business. John Landau is actually almost as good a manager as my manager, Ralph. And that's saying something. Anyhow, here's another, oh, wait, am I upside down? I'm sorry, a little disorganized. Here's another picture of McEnroe, and I've got my finger over Patty. There's Bruce and myself, and John Landau. So congratulations, John, for being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let me do another song that John produced for me. Okay to do that now? Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, here we go. There's a festival today. Come and see, it's all so fine. People who were not my kind are here. There's a festival today. The world is changing, fresh and new. It's mostly green with bits of blue, but it's all here for you. And here's all you have to do. Get up, get up, get out of bed. Let that sunshine fill your head. Listen to what your friends have said. Get up, get out of bed. Morning with a pigeon, I'll be gone, hurrying on my way. I hear there's a bad cat on your back, and you'd best stay in today. And tomorrow I'm here to say, oh, get up, get up, get out of bed. Let that sunshine fill your head. Listen to what your friends have said. Get up, get out of bed. Can you see me clearly? Lover, I do not know. John Landau, thank you so much for being an advocate for me. That was fun to do that song. Yeah, I've been practicing in this time of COVID. I've been practicing the left hand on the piano a great deal. And remember, you piano players, what I want you to do is I want you to just sit on the right hand. Just sit on it and do nothing but work with that left hand. Great piano players have a great left hand. So, all right, where are we now? Come on, Livingston, don't beat on them. Can I do another? Birthdays. Birthdays. Yes, birthdays and anniversaries now. Gail Samowitz, yes?
Yes.
I think it's Gail Samowitz. Gail, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, it is an indication of an inability to read, not an inability to love. So happy birthday, November 5th, Gail Samowitz. Eric Arnold, who, by the way, is my producer's brother. Little brother Eric, he's a swell guy, and his birthday, November 11th, tomorrow. Happy birthday, Eric. Liz and Mike Sapola. Liz and Mike Sapola are celebrating their 35th year married, 35 years of togetherness, bliss, never an argument, never even a slight crossword or irritation with one another. Right. No, that's very great. And then I really like this piece of cake here. Hold on, I want to show you that up close and personal. It's got the flame and the little cake. Oh, that's really sweet. All right, those birthdays and anniversaries. How pleasant. Now, can I throw another song?
Yes, you may. Go.
Yeah. I need to be careful of my foot because sometimes it makes too much noise. I want it to make a little, but not too much.
There have been a few comments about your foot.
Have there been comments about my foot? Oh, I got a big foot. Maybe, should I take off the shoe and maybe, all right, I'm taking off the shoe right now, because this one's a bit of a barn burner. Well, I was thinking about how much we've been home recently, and I wrote this song about a character who couldn't get out of his home, and he said, I can't move. I can't get out of this chair. There are people gathering down the road, but I cannot join them there. My heart, it is so heavy, and my spirits, they're so low, that although I wish to be among them, I can't find me a way to go. So if you're with them, could I ask you a favor, please? A simple request on my behalf. When you're down upon your knees, I want you to tell Jesus to come to my house. Tell Jesus to knock on burn my youth looking for truth. Now I lead him along for the ride. He can come in the daylight for the whole wide world to see. He can come in the middle of the night when there's nothing but the darkness and me. Come from the west in the morning with a full sun on his face. He took a seat in my house in the afternoon, and he filled my life with grace. Tell Jesus to come to my house. Tell Jesus to come knock on my door. There's been so much suffering that we need him as never before. Chilly Jordan, rock my soul. Oh, Gabriel, stand at my side. I burn my youth looking for the truth. Now I lead him along for the ride. He can come in the springtime when the world is fresh and new. Shoulder to the wheel in the blazing sun when there's so much left to do. Come in the fall when the cold winds call and good life dries up and blows away. He came amongst us on that dark winter night with the promise of a brand new day. Tell Jesus to come to my house. Tell Jesus to knock on my door. There's been so much suffering that we need him as never before. Chilly Jordan, rock my soul. Oh, Gabriel, stand at my side. I burn my youth looking for the truth. Now I lead him along for the ride. We are seen in all our need. We will be heard, we can believe. One by one we are a chain that brings us back to love again. Love is grace that lets us be forgiven and completely free. God is true, good prevails. God's favorite miracle is you. Tell Jesus to come to. I love that lyric when it says, he can come in the springtime when the world is fresh and new. Shoulder to the wheel in the blazing sun when there's so much left to do. Come in the fall when the cold winds call and good life dries up and blows away. He came amongst us on that dark winter night with the promise of a brand new day. If you think I like writing lyrics, well, you'd be thinking right. Darn, I love writing songs, writing lyrics. All right, where am I now? Whoop, I'm running out of time, because something I've been thinking about is I've been thinking that I'm really, how do I say this? I'm exhausted. It's been so much stress and grinding going on. And the thing that, I think the thing that drives me most crazy about it is the fact that there's so much tribal affiliation these days. And people are so competing to get you in their tribe. And the noise level has just gone up very high indeed. The noise level is high, the panic level's high, and the gentle and listening level seems to be down a bit. Anyhow, if you're feeling tired, I just wanted to leave you with a little lullaby today. And then I'll leave you alone. This one says, sleepy is good, let your eyes close, wiggle your nose, tug at your ear, call it a day and just drift away, and have in your mind that I'm here. I'm wide awake and I'm ready to take my turn at the twist of the wheel. You've charted the course, the north with star shines. I can handle the weight that you feel. Sleep until dawn, daylight will find you, rested and strong with your face to the wind, with plenty of fight for the good and the right, with me at your side once again. It'll be you and me till the end. All right, we've come to the close of another Livingston Taylor show. Just out of curiosity, how many of these do you think we've done? 20 or 30? Boy, I've sure enjoyed being with you each week. And by the way, when I'm not with you, I'm thinking about being with you.
29.
We've done 29.
Number 30.
No, this is our 30th
I
show.
think this is our 30th
And again,
show.
our sponsors, feedingamerica.org. You put them in, you locate them, and you get out there and give you time or some money or whatever you can to make those people Massey's Bakery, Watertown, Massachusetts, and Krylon Spray Paint, and of course John Landau Management, proud producer, former producer of Livingston Taylor, and present manager of Bruce Springsteen. Bruce's career has been a little more visible than mine, but it hasn't been a bit more fun than mine. Gee, it's been a great ride, guys. All right, I'll see you next week. And for now, allow me to simply say, it's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. You never know where it's gonna go. We're out of time, we gotta go. We'll be back next week, I know. We're gonna open up the faucet and let it flow. The Livingston Taylor Show.